Today we're making party pretzels. These pretzels are delicious, fun to eat, and easy to make. And they're always a hit at any party. And most importantly, you really don't have to have a big party as an excuse to make them. Go ahead and treat yourself. We'll start off by pouring 700 milliliters of lukewarm water into a stand mixer bowl. In this, we will dissolve 1 tablespoon of sugar, followed by 8 grams or 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1 full package of active dry yeast. As I mentioned before, active dry yeast should be dissolved in water prior to use just to give it time to absorb moisture and develop. Even though technically it doesn't. Cover the bowl with a towel and let it sit 5 to 10 minutes somewhere warm. Sometimes you have to leave it longer. My kitchen is very cold, so I had to leave it in for good 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, the yeast is all nice and foamy and it's time for us to add the rest of the ingredients. Weigh 250 grams of bread flour and 800 grams of all-purpose flour. This may seem like a lot of flour, but this will give us 2 batches of pretzels for 2 party plates. And don't forget, these pretzels freeze really well. Once you add all the flour, add 2 teaspoons of salt. And then let's go ahead and place the bowl in the mixer. Use the dough attachment hook and set the mixer to the 2nd speed for about 10 minutes until all the ingredients come together. Then you can turn it up to the 4th speed for the remaining 3 to 5 minutes if your mixer is strong enough and until you get this consistency. This dough is very soft and supple on the surface, but it is on a denser side, and this is because it doesn't have high hydration percentage. So you may find that your mixer may not be strong enough to work this dough, and you may have to take out the dough and just knead it by yourself for the last couple of minutes in order to work that strength into the dough and develop that gluten. Very lightly flour the board and knead the dough for about 3 to 5 minutes. You could knead it a little less, say maximum 3 minutes, if your mixer already did some of the work on the 4th speed. You can also see here that the dough is a little dense, and when you press it with a finger, it slowly springs back. Lightly oil the bowl with a neutral oil and place the dough in it. Cover it and let it rest somewhere warm for about an hour up to an hour and a half until it doubles in size. If you like this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I make videos about bread and art because they're the same. So if you like bread and you like art, subscribe. After an hour has passed, oh my god, I clearly should have gotten a bigger bowl. Shake the dough out of the bowl onto the board, but don't flour the board this time around. Weigh the dough and cut it in half, then in half again, and again. And you will keep weighing and cutting the dough until you have 64 small pieces. Even though we are using the scale, perfection is never my aim. I denounce perfection. Dough pieces will and should look slightly different in size. Shape them into small balls by rotating them between the palm and the thumb of your hand. This should roughly be the size you're aiming for, about 3.5 centimeters or 1.5 inches. From this point on, our pretzels will have 3 opportunities to grow further in size, so keep that in mind when you're determining the size of your little dough balls. They definitely won't stay that small. Cover them and let them rest another hour. While we're waiting, let's prepare some stuff. You'll need a baking sheet lined with a parchment paper. But more importantly, you'll need your serving dish and the pencil. Place the serving dish over the baking sheet and trace the edges with a pencil. Then flip the parchment paper upside down so that the side you drew on is facing down. You'll also need a bowl for your dip. Take a skillet or a pot and fill it with about 1.5 liters or 6.5 cups of water, and then stir in to dissolve roughly about 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Bring the water to a simmering boil and start gently placing pretzel breads in. You will see them instantly puff up. Let them cook for a total of 20 seconds, about 10 seconds per side. In the meantime, have a baking sheet ready with a dipping sauce bowl. As you take the pretzel dough balls from the simmering water, arrange them around the little dipping dish on your baking sheet. Next, take a pair of scissors or a lame if you have one. For this recipe, using scissors is much simpler. And make little slits in each one of these balls, kinda like little X's. Try to keep the look slightly irregular. When we place the pretzels in the oven, we want them to be in the exact shape we'll serve them in later. Melt 50 grams or 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and generously brush the tops of pretzels. Just make note that here I'm showing only half of the batch of pretzels, 32 in total, so I will be using 2 tablespoons of butter to glaze them. Now sprinkle the pretzels with coarse grained sea salt. The amount can be to your liking. I like my pretzels salty, so usually use 2 tablespoons for the whole batch. Remember that the dough is already salted. And now I want to share with you a really quick recipe for an awesome pretzel dip. We all know that mustard goes really well with pretzels, but this particular dip has a twist. Twist. First, start by finely chopping fresh dill. For this recipe, you'll need about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of old-style grainy mustard, 1 overflowing tablespoon of good quality honey, 1 tablespoon of regular sugar, it could also be overflowing, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and about 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped dill. Mix it all up and voila! And the pretzels are done. Place the pretzels on their tray, place the dipping sauce bowl in the center, and serve. This recipe will give you 2 full trays like this, which is perfect for a big party, or simply a party of just 2. I hope you enjoyed making Party Pretzel Bread. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell button so you know when the next recipe about a different bread comes out. And let me know what you think about the recipe. See you next time, bye!